How do you see the challenges facing the Jewish community as a whole in Scotland at the present time?
As a whole, as I've said, it is a welcoming place to be. It's often been said that Scotland is one of the very few parts of Europe that the Jewish community has never been expelled from. The First Minister repeatedly says, that the Declaration of Arbroath, which he sees as the founding document of modern Scotland, actually refers to there being no distinction between Jews and Greeks. That's a quotation from the New Testament, but he uses it to show that a multicultural Scotland has been part of the Scottish persona, if you like, for centuries. And I think it's undoubtedly true that the Scottish government and opinion leaders in Scotland are genuine in their intent to create an inclusive, welcoming Scotland. The problem is that very often some people only see that in their own terms. And what I think we have to do is to educate those same opinion leaders to see things through our eyes, so that they recognise what it is that gives offence to us, and not reply, well, it's unreasonable for you to take offence at that. The background of that slide is the logo that they use for this whole One Scotland, Many Cultures project. And I have to say I'm very proud of it, because I was the person who suggested that they could turn the St Andrew's flag into 4 clasped hands. Now, whether somebody else had the same brilliant idea, I have no idea. But I know that I suggested it to the Equality Unit at the time. And one of the things that came out of that was BEMIS, the ethnic minority infrastructure that was mentioned before, of which I'm the vice convener. And there's all these interlocking things, and then there's less formal things. There are a large number of networks of policy officers, equality networks, and so forth. And we make it our business to be in all of that. I want to actually concentrate really on the two at the bottom, because the so-called Macpherson test, this arises out of the Lawrence case, when the Metropolitan Police was accused of so-called institutional racism. Part of the outcome of that, the inquiry was undertaken by a Scottish judge called Macpherson, and one of his principles was that if anybody tells you that it's a racist incident, then you have to treat it as a racist incident. That doesn't mean it's true, but you have to investigate it as if it was a racist incident. And one of the things that we've discovered when we talk to some of our dear and close friends, particularly about the Middle East, is, and when we tell them that something that they say about Israel or Israel's behaviour or whatever it might be is in essence anti-Semitic, they tell us it isn't. And my point is that that is simply second-order anti-Semitism. It is second-order racism. Racism directed against Jews is anti-Semitism. If you believe everybody else but you don't believe Jews, that's anti-Semitism. So other things that we do, and I have samples of this here, and everything you see here, with the exception of the bottom right-hand side, which you can see there, is actually funded by the government. We put leaflets and posters into every public library in Scotland. How do we involve ourselves with all of this? Well, we are, first of all, just a bit of background about us. We are an educational charity. So we are not, God forbid, a lobbying organisation. Any suggestion that we have anything in common with IPAC, for example, would blow us out of the water, frankly. We don't lobby. Now, when you've got the ministers coming to us, we have a level of access in Scotland that I haven't heard of anywhere else. And that's why we're able to do what we're able to do.
Shalom and welcome to Taped with Rabbi Doug. I'm here today with Rabbi Chaim Jacobs. He is here from Scotland and visiting the Chicago area. I want to welcome you to the show and say Shalom Aleichem.
Aleichem Shalom, hello.
Does Judaism in Scotland have a similar problem as we do in the United States of intermarriage, assimilation, and so on?
Look, intermarriage is a universal threat. It's the silent Holocaust which is unfortunately eroding Jewish communities and Jewish families throughout the world. And we need to make major efforts, each and every one of us, both parents, rabbis, teachers, communal leaders. We need to make far greater efforts to try and make inroads to break this silent Holocaust.